Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about backup and disaster recovery technologies for MSPs today during this webinar. While people are still coming in, I'll just go over just a few of the normal things. So yes, this webinar is going to be recorded. You're going to get an email afterwards with the recording, just as normal. And if you're not familiar with GoToWebinar, there is a little questions portion that if you have any questions or any other things that you want to bring up to us during the webinar, please do so in that question box. There will be a question and answer at the end of the webinar. We're probably going to, we'll keep this right at a half hour or so. But with that said, we'll start in and we'll do a couple introductions. Myself, that's Nathan Forage. I'm VP of Strategic Solutions here at NovaBACKUP. That basically means I oversee everything technical, be it engineering, support, internal IT, that type of thing. So the head technical guy here at NovaBACKUP. Tim, if you would go ahead and introduce yourself. You might still be muted, Tim.
Hi everyone, my name is Tim. I wear a lot of hats at Buffalo Americas, but mostly I deal with technical communications. So I write a lot of end user documentation, and I'm responsible for some of the more technical aspects of our marketing communications as well. So there's no real set title, but basically I'm a pretty techie guy and I write a lot of words. So.
Yep, definitely. Perfect, thank you. So I'll go through just a quick agenda for this webinar. So first thing we're going to do is, people say BDR, what do we actually mean when we say BDR, and why should you implement it? A couple example use cases of where we're seeing BDR being used out in the field, and if you're looking for a BDR solution, what to kind of look for, and then what you're getting with a NovaBACKUP BDR, and then finally some demo of the software and solution, along with some question and answer. That being said, let's talk about who do you have on the horn today, company wise. So I'm from NovaBACKUP Corp. We have a corporation. We global coverage. If you're not familiar with us already, where we've been dealing with backup and recovery software for ages. Our focus is on small businesses and specifically MSPs. Our U.S. headquarters is here in Agoura Hills, California, where it's currently a balmy 76 degrees. So those people out in the Midwest, where a couple of our techs are not getting that 76 degree weather right now. Our development and support, like I said, is here in the U.S. We do a bunch of certifications for like HIPAA and some other things because we do a lot of things in medical, dental, and some government stuff too. And we have a number of flexible business models depending on what you're looking for in a solution. Tim, if you want to go through Buffalo.
Sure. So Buffalo Americas. The Buffalo itself, the company was founded in 1974. We've been in business for almost 50 years now. Our main global headquarters is in Nagoya, Japan. The company is publicly traded on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, but our North American headquarters is Austin, Texas. And we, like NovaBACKUP, we're also kind of dedicated to providing scalable, secure NAS and communication products to small businesses and MSPs. We have purpose-built NAS and networking products like switches, business switches. Our products are TAA compliant, and we have both dedicated pre and post-sales resources and award-winning tech support based in San Antonio as well. So.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing, let's talk about what is a BDR, or what do we mean when we say BDR? BDR in a generic term is backup and disaster recovery. We're talking about backup, putting a solution in that can be a backup and disaster recovery solution for a customer and or a site. And when we talk about it, we're talking about having both on-site and off-site, preferably in the cloud type backup. And sometimes when people are talking about BDRs, when they say BDR, they mean a specific device. And that could be a combination of hardware, software, or like a purpose-built device. And we're kind of in that middle. We're doing that purpose-built device, but you can also kind of roll your own too. And we'll kind of go through about what you should be kind of looking at with the combination of the Buffalo devices and our software in the next couple slides. So, I mean, the next thing is, why should you even think about implementing a BDR solution if you don't already have one, or why even think about this? A BDR solution, the ultimate goal is to reduce that downtime, or be able to recover quickly, get to that the restore point and restore time objectives that customer might have. Being able to spin up a machine real quickly, or be able to recover something from a ransomware attack very quickly. Those are like the main objectives of even thinking about a BDR solution. It's all about reducing the amount of time you spend, making sure that the solution that you have isn't costing you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and in a lot of cases, offering it as another solution that can generate extra income depending on what you're doing with your customers. So that's the main emphasis on there. Tim, did I miss anything that you wanted to go over on that?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. The only thing I want to say, definitely that I think a lot of research shows that demands for backup services, especially amongst like smaller companies and MSP clients, it's definitely growing. I think given the proliferation of ransomware attacks and things like that, a lot of smaller businesses are well aware of the fact that operational disruptions can be really, really costly. I mean, there's a really well-known statistics out there where it's like, I think it's like smaller businesses are at risk, like 60% of smaller businesses are at risk of just not bouncing back if they suffer like a catastrophic data loss event. And the other thing to keep in mind, I want to say, is the fact that, especially for MSPs, most of the time, smaller businesses operating with really limited IT staff, limited budget, and sometimes even really limited expertise. So, more likely than not, they're going to be relying on MSPs to kind of support their backup and disaster recovery needs. So so in this case, not just providing an avenue of possible revenue down the line, but also because the fact that if something does happen with one of their customers, that's especially in the small scale environment, they might likely not have any recourse unless you provide it to them. So.
Yeah, and I want to kind of emphasize one thing, because it literally came up this morning. I was talking to an MSP that's actually in the Midwest that only deals with, in this case, grain elevators and stuff like that. And not any of their customers, but some other customers were hit by ransomware just recently, a few months ago. And the typical, I come from Midwest, so I can say it. The typical farmer type thing is, oh, we're small, no one's going to look at us or do anything. But no, these ransomware guys, they don't care. They know people will, this is their livelihood, so they know they're going to be able to get some money out of somewhere or do something. So you're not too small. You're not going to go underneath the radar. It's not a matter of if, it's really of when.
Exactly, and sorry, I was going to say also, one of the things that a lot of attackers nowadays that they're aware of is the fact that given the global supply chain and logistical issues going on with especially hardware and like hardware components, a lot of times they're aware that smaller business environments, every server counts, right? So that if one server goes down, they may not be able to bring it back line or quickly replace it because logistically it just may not be possible. So they know that sometimes they can really easily put their customers on the ropes without really that much effort. So protection is really, really imperative to think about.
Well, it's that protection and the be able to recover as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think we could go on for an hour on this particular slide and talking back and forth on that. But let's go to the next one. We kind of already briefly went over some of the use cases that we're kind of seeing here. But one use case that, at least here at NovaBACKUP, that we're seeing being implemented quite a bit is in dental practices. Dental practices are the quintessential. They have a lot of technology, and they have a lot of knowledge about their particular industry, but they're not. Dentists aren't the most technical person about computers and stuff. So a lot of dentists are going to MSPs and having those MSPs take care of all the technology part of that. And luckily, a lot of those MSPs are actually using NovaBACKUP to do that. And what we're seeing is a growth in this BDR type installation, this BDR solution installation, where these MSPs are putting this box there, this BDR box and the solution, encompassed with NovaBACKUP at these locations in order to be able to recover quickly. It might not be able to do everything all at once, but it's going to get them up enough to keep going and at least call their appointments for the day if something happens. So that's really what their restore objective is for that dentist, is to be able to get them back up and running as quickly as possible, and minimally at least to contact the customer so that customer experience is not degraded. Yeah, so that's one use case, and there's a multitude of other ones that we can talk about, but let's go just kind of to what to look for when you're looking at or for a BDR solution. One of the things that we kind of how do you want to say preach, not preaching might be a little bit too hard, but we like the option to have both file and image level backups. The reason for that is image level backup, it's great for recovering the entire machine, and you can mount it and get some files, but for long-term archiving and that type of thing, especially when you're talking about compliance data and that type of thing, an image backup, carrying 7 years worth of images of a server, that's a little heavy when you're talking about some of the compliance things that you need to do, when it could just be a specific file set that you need to keep for 7 years. So that's kind of one of the many reasons we kind of promoted the file and image level backup. Local and cloud storage, you can be, whether or not you like cloud or not have you or what have you, having multiple backups at multiple different locations is something that you just need to have. And one of them has to be straight up disconnected, or at least something that these ransomware people can't get into. Air gap to a point. So like our cloud solution, it's the backups can go there, but they can't, like a ransomware person that comes in, they can't actually delete anything. It's more of a object lock type scenario when you're talking about our cloud. Making it easy to deploy and install. This goes back to making it simple for that solution to be installed and managed. You can't use a whole lot of manpower in order to deploy and manage that. And then the typical things, compliance, encryption, and making it simple again for licensing. It really needs to be something simple that people can deploy quickly and recover quickly. Let's see. So Tim, if you want to go over a little bit about just some of the things about the Buffalo NAS described here.
Sure, absolutely. So this is our WS5020. It's a Windows Server NAS, and it runs native Windows Server IoT 2019 as operating system. So Windows Server IoT 2019, it's a binary equivalent of the Windows Server 2019 operating system. It's been specially licensed to OEMs, but it contains every feature of Windows Server operating system. And the idea behind this NAS is the fact that it's a very effective, just typical storage and backup NAS with a lot of options, but also has features leveraging Windows Server to kind of serve as a effective BDR appliance as well. So one of the aspects of the OS is that it supports all Windows compatible software, application, and services, including cloud. So what that means is basically you could pretty much seamlessly integrate this NAS box into an existing Windows environment. And if your customer is already running a lot of Windows compatible applications, for example, they can just directly install onto the NAS. There's just very little overhead, and so it doesn't require any complicated setup or anything like that. And because it's running Windows as the operating system, the NAS box itself can be used in just pretty much every situation you can use a Windows server for.
One of the things that we're seeing a lot of our MSPs use it for is basically like a jump box into a network for one of their customers, and putting their RMM solution on that. It makes it really easy, yeah, because it is Windows, yeah. Absolutely, and they mentioned licenses earlier. So typically, Windows Server operating system requires client access licenses. So basically, what that means is you have to pay for each user or device that accesses the server, and of course, this means that costs can just kind of quickly add up and skyrocket. This particular version of the operating system does not require client access licenses. So basically, you can have literally any number of clients connect to this device without having to pay for each one. So that really kind of helps with, once again, installation and operation. And the NAS itself, Buffalo is making the NAS available in 2-bay or 4-bay desktop models with 32 terabytes of total capacity, up to 32 terabytes of available capacity, and 4-bay rack mount models with up to 40 terabytes of available capacity. And Nate, if you don't mind going to the next slide, I'll introduce some of the BDR functions of the operating system. So because yeah, thank you. So because it's Windows Server, the Windows Server IoT operating system enables the NAS to be set up as part of a failover cluster, just as an example, to kind of increase availability. You can also set up the NAS as a scaled out file server and basically store server application data like Hyper-V virtual machine files on file shares. The Windows operating system, once again, it provides just a lot of backup, replication, and migration features. So yeah, features like storage replication, storage replica, DFS replication, Hyper-V replica. And what's great about the operating system is it also has native features such as like data deduplication. What it does is pretty much gets rid of duplicate data, so this can kind of potentially reduce the space needed to kind of help optimize storage. And then the native Hyper-V and supporting features, you can kind of enable a lot of really versatile virtual machine backup solutions. We, Buffalo ourselves, we're actually using the Windows Server NAS for backup. Basically what we're doing is we're backing up our virtual machines onto a local server, and then we're backing up copies of that virtual machine to an offsite Windows Server IoT NAS using WAN acceleration to kind of reduce data transfers in between to kind of further, and so we're basically just using that as an extra offsite backup for redundancy. And we're actually seeing a lot of clients do this, whereas they are using the Windows Server IoT NAS to kind of back up both Windows servers and actually cloud data as well, because it could pretty much back up a lot of a great deal of data seamlessly from Windows Server. And a lot of times it actually allows them to bypass cloud storage just altogether, so they don't have to deal with like monthly subscription costs and things like that. And the last point is just basically, as Nate mentioned, industry compliance is really, really important, not just specific industries, but also regional ones, like for example, the GDPR from the European Union. And so being able to meet compliance can really kind of impact business sustainability and possibly even expansion down the line. So Yeah, definitely. So I just want to quickly go over, what we're talking about when we're talking about NovaBACKUP BDR Essentials. So basically, what you're getting with the BDR Essentials solution from us through NovaBACKUP would be the Buffalo TeraStation NAS that Tim was talking about here. We have a number of different types, the 8 terabyte, 16 terabyte, and 32 terabyte ones are on our current list. It includes all of the software for local backup and cloud backup, and you're actually getting a set amount of hosted cloud storage by us and at NovaBACKUP, along with remote centralized management and monitoring, which I'll kind of go over for you in the demo real quick. Let's go here. So speaking of that demo, let me kind of go into just a high level view of what you would be doing with the BDR solution here, partnered with NovaBACKUP and Buffalo. Let me go here and do this. So the first thing I want to kind of show you is what we call our NovaBACKUP Central Monitoring, CMON for short. Kind of needs a new name change pretty soon, because we just added some new management capabilities into this, which I'm going to show you. So this is the high-level overview of what machines I can see, and then different backups and that type of thing. I can drill down into this and show different machines. I can create different groups and all of this other stuff. But if I drill down into here, this is just a test laptop that I was doing some backups and other things on. It'll show all the devices that are connected to here. In this case, I already have it connected to one of the IoT machines at our office in Agora Hills. And then it's as simple as going in here, choosing a network device, putting the path, the username, password, and all that stuff in there. So it's very easy to create that. And once everything's created on the device side, you can actually create jobs, run jobs. So if I wanted to create a job to that particular NAS, I could just go into there, and this is going to reach out to that particular machine. It's going to show the local drives and everything like that for that. And then I could say, hey, I want just the user folder, or whatever specific thing. And just create a backup job name, and I'll have it go to, in this case, that Buffalo IoT box. And then all of the normal settings that you might have with NovaBACKUP would be there. I'll just keep it all default, and then I can schedule this. I'll schedule it daily, and I'll just schedule it out for a little bit. So like, we'll make it at, say, 7:30. Then I press OK on that and just save that, and it's actually going to connect to the agent, send that backup job down there. And now if I go back into the jobs, that job's going to be there. I can actually drill down into, let me get to that machine itself. So here's the actual machine itself. It's just RDP'd into that particular machine. And if I go into the schedule, you can see that webinar test job is already there, scheduled for tonight at 7:23 p.m. And basically I could do everything that I was doing through the central monitoring and the CMON solution right here if I wanted to. But in this case, this machine is not even on my local network. It's 20 miles away. I didn't have to remote into this to set this up or do that backup job or anything. So that'd be one part of the BDR solution. The other part is when we're talking about that IoT box and bringing up a machine that has been, that's died or what have you. I've already had a an image backup in this case, that's outputting to VHDX to that particular IoT box. Let me get to that IoT box now. So this would be that that Buffalo IoT box, and in here I already have Hyper-V enabled and set up, and here's the actual VHDX that I did yesterday. So say this machine died, you know, and I would need to get that up and going. So I would just create a new virtual machine. I would go here. I don't want to connect to the network because it's already, you know, currently running. And instead of creating a new virtual disk, I'm just going to use the existing virtual disk. And I'll configure all of that. And I can actually just start up that virtual machine right now. And that's a complete, you know, image of that particular, in this case, it was a laptop that I was done yesterday. It'll take, you know, a couple minutes to start up. And this is like a Windows 11 machine, but you can do this for any server, what have you. And it's more of that spare tire. You can get them up and going and going as quickly as we can. But that's the basics of it. One of the other things that Tim also kind of alluded to that some of our MSPs have taken to is, okay, this is a VM, right? This is just a Hyper-V VM. Well, I can enable replication to this. So I can enable replication to another IoT box at another location, or I can have that actually replicate to Azure if I wanted to. So there's a lot of different options that you can do with this particular box. We're getting a little bit close on time, so I'll stop the demo at this point and kind of go back into the webinar portion. Looks like it's Q&A time. There is a number of questions here that we should go through here. So one of the questions was, will the Buffalo Windows IoT NAS work in Windows workgroups, or does it have to be in a domain type thing? Well, I can, Tim, I'm sure you can answer this, but I can answer this too, because that particular IoT box that I was just on, that's just in a work group. It's not in a domain. I have it kind of isolated and have specific local credentials on that particular NAS that aren't part of the domain that the network is on that thing. So yeah, it'll work perfectly in a work group. Other things, other general things about that IoT NAS. Yeah, it gets the same Windows updates that any other Windows box will get. So yes, it does get updates from Microsoft. I think I might have already answered a couple of these with doing this demo. Can I run an image backup on the Buffalo IoT NAS as a Hyper-V VM? Yes, absolutely you can. And so we can do all that. Couple things about NovaBACKUP itself. Does NovaBACKUP support an incremental forever or synthetic full backup? That's a great question. So currently, we will do I'll call it an incremental forever or synthetic full to the cloud. So we will do that to the cloud right now. We're actually doing a bunch of stuff this year that will also enable that for local backups also, along with some image improvements shortly in the next few months. That'll be pretty exciting when you're talking about incremental forever or synthetic fulls. Let's see. Oh, our VHDX backups, block level backups. Yes, they're basically an image level, block level backup. So when you create an image backup, you have the option to put it to, I'll call it a NovaBACKUP proprietary format, or you can actually have it go directly to a VHDX or VHD type type format like I did with that. Tim, here's a great one for you. If the hard drive dies, what is the warranty? How's the warranty and how is the support handled? I know that's one of the big selling points here, but if you want to go over kind of how that's working, that'd be great.
So our devices do come with a 3-year warranty, and with the option to expand it to 5, extend to 5, and this includes hard drives. I'll definitely need to confirm this, and with the IT people, but I'm pretty sure in terms of hard drive failure, we do offer a data recovery service, and if the hard drive itself has completely failed, we should be able to replace the hard drive as long as the hard drive gets sent to us. But I'll definitely check and follow up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly certain you actually will even do a advanced replacement too, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there's a lot of options for the warranty on those things.
Yeah. I was gonna say the hard drives definitely carry the same warranty as the NAS box itself, in terms of as another hardware component. I believe the replacement hard drives have standard warranties of 3 to 5 years, depending on the drive itself. So.
Yep, that's good. Oh, a couple other good questions. Does NovaBACKUP have the ability to run on Linux, specifically CentOS? Not the NovaBACKUP product that I was talking about right here, but if you're interested in some Linux options, we do have a different solution that does work on Linux. Oh, here's a very good question. Can data at rest also be picked up by NovaBACKUP Business Essentials and take a backup as exists on the NAS itself and back it up to Amazon S3 or Wasabi, etc.? Absolutely, yeah, you can do that. You can install NovaBACKUP on that IoT box, and you can back that up. You can use that IoT box as just a normal file server if you really want to, and then back up that data directly to either NovaBACKUP hosted cloud, or if you're just using the Business Essentials product, you can back that up to S3 compatible storage also. Tim, I don't know if you know this one. This is a good techie question. Are the Buffalo hard disk drives that are in the NAS, are they SMR or non-SMR?
They should be CMR, conventional recording.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yep. Okay, good. For some pricing questions, I think there is going to be a contact at the end of this webinar, and you'll get some contact followed up from this webinar, but we're running a little bit late on time, unfortunately, for pricing stuff, but it is very simple pricing. You're talking about how much is Nova Cloud, and along with the price list for the NAS, I mean the BDR solutions. So yeah, we do have that. All right, and if you have specific other technical questions that we might not have answered, please just let us know, and we can answer that. So the next thing, one of the things that we wanted to do, to thank you for being so attentive in this webinar and taking time out of your day, is to do a prize giveaway. But first, we want to just get one quick question answered from you guys. I will launch a poll right now, and if basically, do you currently offer BDR as part of your managed service offering? And a couple of options on there. Interesting. Oh yeah. So what it looks like, about half the people here, have a BDR solution, but they're always looking to see what's out there. About a quarter of everyone here doesn't have a BDR solution in place, and then kind of the rest are mixed between that. That's interesting to see that that type of dispersion there. So with that said, the prize giveaway, it's going to be emailed. We're going to choose people, based on participation, that people showed up, and we'll send an email on that if you've won. If sorry about going a little bit over our 30 minutes here. It is 5 minutes after, but if you have any technical questions or want to discuss this more, please shoot us an email at msp@novabackup.com. There's also going to be a follow-up email that we're going to send out, get more information. Anything that we can help you guys with, will certainly help. With that, Tim, I really appreciate you being on this webinar with me. I think it was good for me. Hopefully, it was good for everyone else on the attendees.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And thank you for hosting it.
Yeah, not a problem. With that, guys, everyone have a good rest of your day. Thanks for attending, and have a good rest of your day.